let's start with their biggest promise that's been most hotly debated, is the Mahalaxmi Scheme.
Okay.
Right? So their broader focus, or maybe let me back it up a bit, right? So they're saying workers, the poor, women. So it's focusing extensively on social justice, on inequality, on upliftment. So right from the get-go, all very noble ideas, right? I think that no one can say that this is not a noble thing that they're trying to do.
100%.
The means through which might be actually extremely problematic and have very dangerous consequences, which we'll come to. So, Mahalaxmi Scheme being one of the things that they want to do, which essentially is a lump sum every year to poor families.
Okay.
Note, interestingly enough, they don't define what a poor family is, probably for intentional purposes. 1 lakh rupees to the oldest woman in the family. And if there's no woman in that family, then the oldest individual in that family. I believe that's the exact idea. Now, 1 lakh rupees per poor person.
Let's do the math.
Let's do the math. See, now, I think just today, there was a conversation with one of the members of the committee that drafted this manifesto. And he said something that was very fascinating. Right. So after being pressed by Karan Thapar, he mentioned that the number that they're looking at in this scheme in general. So this plus some of the other freebie related schemes that they want to give out, right? I believe some to do with student loans, a few more schemes, but a lump sum.
Student loans, sports scholarships.
Correct. So a few of these, I think 4-5 of them, coming to 5 lakh crores over a 5-year period.
Okay.
Right. So 1 lakh crore a year. So if you had to give a lakh, Ron, where does that bring me?
To 1 crore poor people, we are officially developed. Bring it in.
Right? So if you're saying that your base number is 1 crore that are poor, then the BJP would have done tremendously well. You've actually taken a better number than most other analysts have on where we are at the poverty level right now. So, I don't know.
I would say quite significantly, since our population is
140 crores.
140 crores. Not to say 5 lakh crores is a small amount.
Yeah.
It's to highlight the impossible nature. What are they calling this? Populist economics.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, look, I don't like gotcha moments. I think these days in the news, people thrive on them, right? You just want to get someone to say something so you can say, hey, I gotcha. So maybe the spokesperson that said this didn't have the numbers fully right.
Look, if you're proposing a scheme, it's not a gotcha moment that someone asks you the most important piece of information you would need to know about the scheme, about how it could possibly be executed.
Okay.
So, if we're talking on intent, this seems like an impossible deliverable.
Correct. And that's what actually Karan Thapar himself, who's not historically been a buddy of the BJP, let me put it like that mildly, even he pressed them saying, look, you have to tell your voters how much it's going to cost. And what I didn't like is when he was asked that question, he's like, no, what you're misunderstanding is that voters will know that it's going to cost something. No, but an average voter is not going to know how much a scheme of this scale is going to cost. And even then, what the interviewer said is, look, what the Congress is saying is we're going to come into power, we're going to conduct some surveys, right, which we're going to come to. Right, so a caste survey, socioeconomic survey, we're going to do these surveys, then determine where we're at, and then we'll know how many poor people are there, and then the scheme will be effective. But you've already made this promise that you're going to give it to poor people. So you're actually going to start doing this disbursement theoretically before you even have the data.
Well, the only way for them to now hold suit is that logically they would decide the number later, but now they're just deciding who they call poor later.
Exactly.
You get it?
Exactly.